Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of True Crime with Achieng. Before we get into today's video, I wanted to remind you guys to like, comment and share to as many people as you can. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. If you're a returning subscriber, I really appreciate. Also, don't forget to turn on your post notifications. So for today's video, as I mentioned last week, we're doing a part 2 for the Ebbie Noelle Samuels case. I did a part 1. If you haven't watched it, there's a playlist for Ebbie Samuels on my channel. You can go and check it out. But yeah, so today we're going to be doing the part 2 of now, like what really happened to her. This account of what really happened to Ebbie is given by the girl who was really the closest to Ebbie. Even though they had been in school for one term, Ebbie had already managed to get like a close confidant, and this is the person who came out last year to tell the story. And I believe that she was quiet all this time because she was afraid, and all the circumstances surrounding this story, they make it weird. So the narrator says that Ebbie passed away on 9th March, which was on a Saturday. Now she takes us back to the previous day, which was on Friday, 8th March 2019. Now they had just finished their lessons, and at 4 p.m. the whole school was supposed to go for a cross country. That's like a run around the school, yeah? Many high schools do that, I believe. So they go for the cross country at 4, and they come back, and Ebbie finishes among like top 10 in the whole school. So this is like clearly an indication that she was okay health-wise. You can't finish top 10 na uko na complications za health. So when they got back to school after the cross country, Ebbie requested another friend. Now the narrator, who was the close friend now, decided to go to the washroom. In the meantime, Ebbie asked another girl to help her apply oil on her hair. So the girl did so, akampaka mafuta, and Ebbie had really long and nice hair, and usually enjoy when you're styling or you're applying oil on somebody who has really long and nice hair. So the girl applied oil and decided to style Ebbie. She put a style on her head, which was not allowed in the school. What was allowed was if you had open hair and you had just blow dried, you're supposed to hold your hair in the middle. And if you had braids, you're supposed to hold it in the middle and put it up in a bun. So the girl put a style on Ebbie's head and left it at that. The narrator, the close friend, came back and saw Ebbie with the style, and she was like, Ebbie, you know that style is not allowed, and today the deputy is on duty, and if you're found with that style, it will cause issues and whatever. But Ebbie said since that day they were going to dorm early, that she would just stay with it and angetoa akienda dorm. Typical of how a normal high schooler would think. So at 6 they go for supper, and at 6:45 the bell for preps rings. They settled in for preps and they were just learning and everything was okay until 8:30, when the deputy was patrolling around the school. She reached to their class, and obviously she spotted Ebbie because she had the wrong style, and was like, quote unquote, who's that girl ameweka nywele ni kama shule ni ya mamake. So after saying that, she orders like Ebbie to get out and go and meet her in the office, and Ebbie anatoka class akiwa so tense. Ebbie is so tense, like you can only imagine. It happened to me once, not because I had the wrong hairstyle when I was in school, but I had done something, and I'm telling you, it's not the greatest of feelings, so I can only imagine what she was feeling. So she goes out tensed and everything. She goes to the office and she waits for the deputy to finish patrolling so that she comes, then they can talk. At around 8:48 to 8:49 p.m., Ebbie comes back to class and she's crying hysterically. She's really crying. She takes her handkerchief and she runs out. So the friend, who they don't sit together, but obviously she's watching, she sees Ebbie run out and she decides to follow her, because number one, the deskmate was not there. Number two, like Ebbie was her closest friend at that point. So she follows her to the washroom where she finds Ebbie crying. She asks Ebbie what had happened, and Ebbie told her that the deputy had really beat her using the Bunsen burner pipe, the ones that are usually in the lab. And this was evident because, as the friend noticed, Ebbie was swollen, like at parts of her body. She was really swollen, indicating that she was really beaten. So the friend asks her, where did she beat you? And Abby said she beat her everywhere, even on the head. Like, she didn't care, she was just beating her. The friend stated that Abby was crying so much to the point where you couldn't even make out what she was really saying. She was crying like you couldn't even hear what she was saying clearly. She also states that Abby told her that the deputy wanted to shave her hair, and Abby told her that she'd rather send her home on suspension than shave her hair. Now, at this point, I believe is when the deputy totally lost it and beat her more than she was even meant to beat her. I have been in a public high school, and I know how these deputy principals want to be worshipped. Yes, literally. If you try to speak for yourself, or if you try to stand up and actually say something that would potentially go against what they want, they turn everything against you. Me personally, I feel like Abby didn't have any mistake there. If she did, it was not reason enough to beat her Ivo Sana. I'm just speaking my mind honestly. You can't shave my hair. My hair, I've been having it since June when it's really long. Why do you want to shave it? Just send me home or something. My mom would understand. But these deputies, I don't know if it's just a thing with all of them. They just always want things to go their way. And you see this to people who like are willing to do anything to just please the teacher. They like such people who they can control. And if you stand up to yourself, if you stand up for yourself and speak out for yourself, that becomes an issue. They don't like you, they go against you. The deputy at this point, as Abby was telling the friend, she started saying that, oh, you're speaking to me rudely, how dare you, who do you think you are, such things, as she continued beating her. Now, since it was only remaining like 7 minutes to 9, and 9 was the time when the preps was ending, the friend told Abby that they should just stay there as she continued consoling her, and they would go to the dorm and she would look for medicine for her. And Abby said that she actually needed to wash her clothes because the following day the taps would be full with seniors and there would be inadequacy in water, public school manuals. And she didn't want to handle all that, so she just washed her clothes that night, and then the following day she wouldn't have to do anything. The friend tried to convince her to kind of like just take medicine and rest, but Abby insisted. They went to dorm. They had to wait for the matron till like 9:45 since she had other duties. For when she came to dorm, the friend borrowed medicine for her. She took the medicine, they washed their clothes, and they went to sleep. She told Abby good night, and they both went to sleep. So now the following day, on Saturday, 9th March 2019, it was on a Saturday. They're supposed to wake up at 6:30 and be in class by 7:20. Now, when they were getting, the last people were getting out of the dorm and the prefect was ringing the bell for everyone to get out, somebody noticed that Abby was there's someone still on the bed. When they go, they find that it's Abby. Now they think that she just maybe extended, or nobody remembered to wake her up, or she just slept a little bit longer. So they try waking her up. She's not waking up. They even ring the bell like in her ear. They still think that she's joking, but all their efforts proved to be futile, and they decided to go and call the matron because now they tried everything. They even shaking her, they removed the blanket, they rang the bell on her ear, but she wasn't responding. They called the matron, who called the principal, and the principal came with her car. They put Abby inside the car, and the car drove off to Naidu Hospital. So this is a video of the principal's car entering into Naidu Hospital, and inside it there's Abby and the matron's assistant. Now this shows her being taken in, And yeah, that's them removing her from the car. At this point, this is when they were saying that she died along the way. Yeah. They take her in. But sadly, moments later, her body is being taken out since she had passed away. So the students were not told anything concerning Ebbie, and everybody was just concerned, especially the narrator, who was now the close friend. The next day, on Sunday morning, the whole school is called for a parade, and they are told, listen to this statement, they're told that Ebbie was rushed to hospital, and when she got to the hospital, the doctors tried to treat her, and that they found that she had a blood clot, but they couldn't do much. She died when the doctors were trying to treat her. This statement is very contradictory to what the doctors said, as we discussed last week. The doctors said they just received a body which was cold. So why would the principal have to lie to the students? Now at this point, like, of course, everybody in the school loses it, and everybody is crying and mourning, especially the narrator, who Ebbie was literally, they were close friends with Ebbie. She feels so sad, and she's saddened, and she couldn't understand, because Ebbie was okay, except from the headache that she had the previous day, which was as a result of the beating she got from the deputy principal. Now, on Tuesday, the same week, these close friends suggest to the class that they should contribute money, because that's what we usually do when something happens to either one of your classmates or their relatives. You contribute some kidogo money so that you give to the family to help them. So the class did that. They contributed money, and they gave it to the class teacher. The class teacher had to go through the principal so that he or she gives the money to Mama Ebbie. When she goes to the principal tells her to give the kids back their money. Okay. Now the pupils are given, the Ebbie's classmates are given back their money, but they are still confused. They are wondering, like, why are you returning the money, number one? And we were contributing this to help Ebbie's family, who was our classmates. We honestly don't understand why you guys are returning our money back to us, and this money, we collected it for Ebbie. The next day, I think this action prompted the principal to call for an assembly on Wednesday, because the classmates were also asking when they were to go for the burial, because I mean, it's normal if somebody in your class passes, or if something happens, your class goes. And besides, this had happened in the school previously, where a girl who was just sick, like she was naturally sick, passed away, and the whole class went. So they assumed that would possibly that would be the same thing that would happen for them. So they were asking the class teacher to ask the principal, like, when was the burial, so that they start preparing themselves. On the next day, the next Wednesday, they were called for a parade, and they were told that Mama Ebbie was planning the burial for Ebbie, but she did not want to see anybody from their school. Man, this principal was not slick enough, because high school students are mature, and they could tell what's going on. When they went back to class, the classmates were obviously saying that something is happening here, because how could Mama Ebbie just say that she doesn't want to see us? That is basically how Ebbie Noelle's story in Gatanga CCM was forcefully forgotten, because the principal and the deputy didn't want the school to be associated with anything that had to do with Ebbie Samuels. Now, I already talked about the burial and how it went, and everything that happened during the course of the mourning period and the autopsy. Allow me to mention that during the investigations, nobody ever mentioned to Mama Ebbie or to the police that Ebbie was beaten the night before her death. This was revealed by the narrator or the close friend when she decided to come out and finally speak about what happened on that night. A lot of things were being hidden. A lot of things happened in the course of the investigation, and Mama Ebbie seeking for justice. And this woman is really strong. When I tell you she's strong, she has been fighting for all these years. She just said that she can't afford to rest until justice is finally served. They held a rally together with Ebbie's former classmates and some other women who came out to support Mama Ebbie and other girls, and they went to the parliament and they were demanding for justice. And after all these years and all these cries and pleas, on 30th of January, Elizabeth Gatimu, who was now the former deputy principal of Gatanga CCM, was arraigned in court, and she had to be assessed due to go to Mathare Hospital so that they see if she's mentally fit to stand for trial and everything. But now finally justice is kind of like being served. Personally, I don't understand why in this our country, which is a democratic country and everybody has the right to justice, why should I have to go to the roads and cry and roll on the floor, and I have to just scream so that I get justice, which is my right? I deserve to get justice. This Madam Elizabeth Gatimu has been walking out here free just because I believe that she was just handing out kidogo money to these people, because Mama Ebbie stated that the police at Kirwara police station, which was the first police station they reported this case to, were really not cooperative. They were told that the OCPD who was handling the case, was moved to another station. They're just taking them round in circles, meaning that this deputy principal had some sort of influence towards this police station or the police officers working in this police station. Even though we do acknowledge that the trial process and the process of finalizing on this whole journey of getting justice for the death of Ebbie Noelle Samuels is long, at least there's been progress and she has been arrested, and we are honestly hoping for the best and nothing but the best and just justice. She needs to pay for what she did. Yes, so thank you guys for watching today's video. Continue supporting me and continue watching my videos and stick around for my next video.